want to tell you some truths today, some real truths that you're probably not aware of. One of the things that we live in is what's called a core belief system. And a core belief system is one of the hardest things you can possibly break out of. And then we're all trying to break out of it, but we just don't know we are. Core belief systems come from one system. They originate from one place. But they've manifested over years and years into different systems. But they all originate from that original system. These systems are systems of what are called control. We are controlled. Has anybody ever looked at the word con nautically? What does it mean? It means to navigate. It means to steer the course of a vessel. And what's a troll? Come on, it's that simple. Trick trap over the bridge. And what happens when we buck the system? What comes into play? The control. This is how simple it is. I realise that all of this that we live in started with a book. And it's going to end with a book. The reason it's got to end with a book is because there is a book that created a core belief system that everyone has subscribed to. Whether you meant to or you realise you have, doesn't matter. You do subscribe to it because you accept everything that goes on in this country and in this world daily. You accept it. And it's normally done in the name of something. If you want to go along the lines of treason, which has been talked about, then I will give you one little bit of advice. Take yourselves tonight to a police station and get yourselves arrested for treason, because you are committing it right now. It's called misprision of treason. It is an offence to know that treason exists without doing something about it. So how many of you are going to come with me down to a police station and get ourselves arrested? But it's true. This lady up here gave me some very, very interesting information once when I started in this. And this, I don't know if anyone's had the pleasure of speaking to Elizabeth. She was fascinating. She was like speaking to the Queen. That's how she spoke. But she had the most incredible sense of humour. I had such giggles with her. And with Elizabeth, I managed to bridge a divide because we've been split up by divides. This is what a core belief system does. It creates divides because that's how it protects itself. When you believe in something, there is a divide between you and someone else who believes different. It's natural. If I believe one thing and you believe something different, then there's a conflict. A conflict. Have you ever looked at every word that starts with con? Go and do it. Then define the words. Get a dictionary, start defining words. Look at the origins of these words. It's incredible. I can give you so many of them. So many of them. I used to talk to Elizabeth, and Elizabeth spoke very properly. Queen's English, I understand it's called. I don't know what version of English I speak. I had trouble speaking any part of it, to be quite honest with you. There's words I just cannot say. I bridged a class divide with Elizabeth. A working class man who speaks like some coming out of somewhere out of here, London, spoke to someone whose dad, I don't know if you know, was the High Court Circuit Judge, Judge Beckett. Elizabeth used to talk to me about things that Fabians, and she used to talk to me about Balliol College, and she used to talk to me about who was trained at Balliol College. Specific people. Gordon Brown, Mr. Blair, a few people out of the Conservatory, the Conservatives. The con. So when we used to talk about these things, I didn't actually know what I was listening to because I didn't understand anything. So I used to just be polite and listen. What I've done is, over the last year, is I've done a lot of talking. And when you're talking, you can't listen. And you were given 2 ears and 1 mouth for a particular reason. So you listen more than you talk. Because it's the only way you can learn, is when you listen. So I listened to what Elizabeth said, and this is over 2 years ago. And Elizabeth talked about something called the 1911 Parliament Act, and how damning this act was. Now, I couldn't get the words to this act, because it's not available on the internet, and I know why now. There's a few acts that I don't know if you know this that are not available on the internet. The 1925 Gold Standards Act, the 1922 National Insurance Act, the 1869 Bankruptcy Act and the Parliament Act. They're not available, but they're going to be next week. And do you know how you do it? It's this simple. You ring up Parliament, Parliamentary Archives, and you ask them for copies. And they photocopy it off the statute roll and send it to you. That's how simple it is. See, everything has a simple answer. Everything. Now, I'm going to do this because Roger asked me, because I wasn't actually going to talk here today. I rang you up to politely decline, didn't I? He did actually, yeah. You're such a bully. But I want to talk about the 1911 Parliament Act. I want to show you something that happened that you're not aware of. Because I want to show you the actual reason, really, why we have this thing called a constitution. Okay? That is not actually here to benefit you in any shape, form or fashion. It's a device of manipulation and corruption. It's been systematically arranged over 700 and odd years to achieve something that could not be done, and that was the oppression of the people of this island. Because the people behind this fear us to such an extent they daren't come out rightly and tell you that you are serfs to them, because they fear you. Because we possess something on this island that's not possessed anywhere else in the world, as far as I can see it. The people of this island would possess an ability to actually allow themselves to enter into voluntary servitude in the service of their own people. All of you in this room, if you are entering onto this path of lawful rebellion, are about to do that. You are now entering into voluntary servitude to serve your people. And the reason you... Oh, look, who's in? There's another one up there. And the reason you're doing this is because this country does not need representatives. It does not need rulers. It needs servants. That's all it is. And if you are asked to contribute to any of the services that you as a people require, then you should have complete transparency and full accountability on where that contribution's gone. Why do we have the corridors of secrets? Why is everything kept in the shadows, masked in corruption? And every walk of government are the abysses where this corruption spews. Every walk of it. I can give you evidence that there are councils out there that have multiple CCJs, county court judgments against them. I can prove they all have company numbers. I can prove they have directors and they are doing business. But I don't want to do that to you. I want to ask you one simple question. If I can provide this evidence, this proves something. It proves irresponsibility. So if these people are so irresponsible with your money, why the bloody hell are you still paying them? But you're only paying them because you fear. And what do you fear? A core belief system. that whatever Parliament does, you have to adhere to.